Morgan Heritage were a family group first off, and growing up together in at home, all inspired by music in different ways, and our fathers saw the talent and our mothers saw the talent in us, and convinced Pops to turn him in our group, and he was very instrumental in making it all happen. In the beginning it was his vision until it became our vision. So we are a family group, 4 brothers and a sister, and here we are today.
Okay, I like it. Family sticking together. That's nice. Your first appearance was at Reggae Sunsplash. Tell me what that atmosphere was like.
Our first appearance in Jamaica?
In Jamaica, yeah.
It was the first international stage we performed on in Jamaica. It wasn't an actual first appearance, but it was great.
Yeah.
It beared a lot of fruit for us. We did the beach party, and then our father and the organizers arranged for us to open International Night on the Saturday to perform for a record label, and we got signed to MCA Records straight off of the stage, and it serves a landmark in our career because of that. It was the beginning of Morgan Heritage taking steps to make their dream a reality, because before that we were just kids of Den Right Morgan doing music. I mean, we released 1 album before, only in Japan, but up to that point it was a dream.
Wow. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm a little bit starstruck. I'm not even gonna.
It's all good.
Okay. When you were signed to MCA, you then released an album, Miracles. What was the inspiration behind that?
Miracle. It was just where our life was at the time. A few of us had just finished high school. Mojo was still in school. Luke was still in school, and just where music was taking us at such a young age, to us it was a miracle. We always dreamed of being in the arenas with people like Noah Dish and Guy Bobby Brown, and then we were signed to the same label as them, which was like, we were starstruck.
Yeah.
Going to MCA in New York and in Los Angeles and seeing all the artists that we grew up on and falling in love with as just young kids growing up in America, and idolizing these pop artists, R&B artists. It was all a miracle for us. So that's where the inspiration, I was just calling it a miracle for us.
Definitely, I can understand that. You then worked on some solo projects.
Yes.
And then you decided to come back together and do the Morgan Heritage again. Your single, The Return, in 2012. What was the story behind that?
It's what we was seeing at the time in the world, in music, and because dancehall was really
dominant,
very dominant. I mean, that's a simple way to put it at that time, and that was the beginning of the resurgence of roots music. You start to see artists like Chronix pop up, Protege, making his way onto the scene, and it just grew from that point.
Okay. 2013, your album Here Comes the King.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that album?
Just the whole thing, continuing the journey of the return. We as reggae artists and Rastafarians, we consider ourselves and know ourselves as kings and queens, as we should all see ourselves as kings and queens. Definitely. So, dancehall music was doing its thing. It's a music for the party. It's a music for the dancehall. So we love it same way. Yeah. But there's a time and a place for everything. And, people, when we decided to say, okay, well, let's put out another Morgan Heritage album, it wasn't to say, here come the kings as just Morgan Heritage, but you had people like Stephen Marley, Damian Marley is continuously doing a lot of things single-wise, and even as an entrepreneur, launching his Welcome to Jamrock Cruise, and just a lot of things, and artists resurging to the forefront as roots artists. Like Mojo said, Chronix was hitting the scene. Protege was, breaking out long before Chronix, and there's just a slew of artists that have been making way along with those artists. Kabaka Pyramid, Dre Island, Janine, and the list goes on. And then you have people like Morgan Heritage, Taurus Riley, and we continue to do what we do to keep the banner of reggae music flowing around the world. Yeah. So when you say Return of the Kings, it's just a return of roots and culture music to a prominent state where it is recognized as a mainstream music, just like dancehall music.
Okay, I like it. You collabed with Beres Hammond. Tell me what that was like working with such inspirational artists.
Barris is one of our godfathers that we look up to. He taught us a lot. He gave us a little speech at one point in our career in the early 2000s about, maintaining a career for a certain amount of years, and and shared with us a little secret of his that we can't tell you, but it's top secret.
Well, I want to know the secret.
No.
Like, we're gonna find out the secret. I know. Morgan Heritage as well. You worked with Chronix. What was like? How did that collaboration happen?
I mean, it happened organically. I mean, we were working on the Strictly Roots album.
Yeah.
And, we did a song with Joe Mercer. Jameer was featured, JB was featured. And, we wanted to incorporate the young generation with us to show the people that we, Morgan Heritage, we've been here for a while. Yeah. And we identify the young generation coming up. So we wanted to do a few songs with a few of the young ones.
Yeah.
And Chronix was one of them. I mean, we've tried with Protege, but he has a very busy schedule. They all have a busy schedule. Yeah. And to be honest with you, when we contacted Chronix, he was heavily on the road and working on a lot of different projects. And the song ended up being recorded maybe 2 months before we started the mixing process. It was near the tail end of the recording. And, we happened to be in Jamaica at the time, and he was in Jamaica at the time having a break. And we just came together. We did the recording at Big Yard Studio, and it was just a vibe like we've done this before. We've been together, even though it was our first time in studio together. Yeah. It was a natural vibe, a great vibe. He's learned a lot from us during the session. We learned a lot from him, and just seeing his process and how he works. And, it was very heartwarming to us to see that a youth as young as himself have such a professional work ethic. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was a great vibe, and we got the song Child of Jah for the Strictly Roots album.
Nice, I like it. Your song Down by the River, did you expect that song to have such an impact on the world to the point where even still to this day it's been played in dance hall, at weddings, at funerals? Like, did you expect it to be around for so long?
No, never. I mean, something like that, if you'd have to be some type of wizard or something, But it's a song that it took a whole year for people to get used to it. And now to see it last, almost 20 years, it's definitely heartwarming.
Yeah.
And it's a feeling that we owe to our fans, because it's their love of our music that makes a song like that still relevant today.
Definitely. Your song She's Still Loving Me, who wrote that song?
We did.
Okay, but which one of Uno in particular? Together you wrote it?
Yeah.
So all of Uno was in love at the same time?
I mean, it's not necessarily say it's our personal experience, but it's just, you travel the world, you meet a lot of people, you hear a lot of stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, in a nutshell, we just kind of put together a man's story of being in love, taking advantage of a situation, and having the fortune of still having that special someone in your life, still loving you through the trials and tribulation.
Okay.
Yeah.
When traveling, what are some of your home comforts that you like to bring on the road with you?
Rice cooker,
Dominoes, some brown rice, seaweed, miso soup.
What's that?
That's the basis of what we eat. Like, we don't eat white rice and them thing now, unless we're in a situation where we're forced to, because there's nothing else. But if we were to cook, that's why we travel with a rice cooker. We always have brown rice cooking, and it's there for if anyone creates something to go with it, whether you want fish, somebody buying chicken and whatever, and you just create a warm vibe.
Yeah.
Well, I always have to run to a fast food restaurant or a restaurant.
You don't know what's in it and
you don't know, but you put in your own thing.
Definitely. You've worked with so many artists over the years. Is there anyone else that you would love to work with?
I mean, Stevie Wonder, Coldplay. Never worked with Yellow Man before, and we love Yellow Man. There's a long list of artists. If you ask all of us, Peter can give you a few different names.
Man. I love Rihanna. Rihanna's amazing. We'd love to do something with her. The list is just long.
Endless,
and sometimes, there's a lot of artists in Africa. We have the opportunity of working with Stonebwoy on this album, Timae. We're working on a project for Africa that we're, working with a lot of top African artists right now. And, it's just about working with people that have a love for reggae music, first off. And we have a love for what they do. Okay. So, we're looking forward to greater things in the future.
What would you say... No, sorry, let's start that question again. If you were to work with anyone from past tense, that's passed on, who would it be?
Let me see here. Well, we did work
You can only
with
choose.
Dennis Brown. We did work with Gregory. Garnet Silk. I'd love to have worked with Garnet. He's one of my biggest inspiration as a reggae singer. Because growing up, I didn't listen to much reggae. I listened to a lot of R&B from Michael Jackson, the Gap Band, Stevie Wonder, Sam Cooke, and so forth. I mean, if we're talking about outside of reggae, the list is even bigger.
Oh, wow.
Michael Jackson #1.
Definitely.
How people like Sam Cooke, like we say, Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Those people really inspired us musically.
Is there anything you would like to say to your fans and your supporters across the world?
Avracadabra.
Yes.
Yeah, the new album coming May 19th. You can get it everywhere. We just want to really spend a special thanks. Because with this new album, it's been an interesting journey putting it together, touring all over the world, and the support that we're getting behind it. We're really excited to see what happens as people start to get into the new music, and we gotta thank them for being there over the years, and now again with the new album, and we appreciate love that, man. We'll see you all soon. Stay in tune with us on social media at Morgan Heritage across all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and look out for announcements and new tour dates. MorganHeritageMusic.com.
Oh, emotional. Anyway, before I start crying in that, I'm your girl, Miss Koko Diva, Morgan Heritage, Mo, Peter.
Yes.
Thank you for
Miss
taking
Diva.
the time out to talk with us. And we'll see each other again.
Soon.
Very soon.
Yeah. I'm your girl, Miss Koko Diva. I'm out the building.
Right away. We are the future, and with that we're taking on.